Welcome, everybody. Sorry for the late start. We had a little issue. The time is 6:37 p.m. It's Wednesday, March 27th. I'd like to start this Town Board regular meeting by asking everybody to please rise for the pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Following the order on the agenda, are there any public comments or questions on agenda items only? If you have any questions or comments on agenda items only, please approach the podium. Seeing nobody approaching the podium, we'll move on to the next. Next on the agenda is Eagle Scout request to build and install birdhouses for Dover Stone Church Preserve. Will be presented by Michael Volpe.
Good evening. I have blueprints. May I approach to hand them to you guys?
Absolutely.
Pass them down. Thank you. 6 copies and one for the clerk.
So there's a little bit of a miscommunication. My troop does 3 projects in order to prepare you for Eagle Scout when you finally get there. So this is my life project that I'm working on now, and then I'll be doing my Eagle project in about 4 or 5 months.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Michael Volpe. I live in Brewster, New York, and Putnam Lake. I'm a junior at Immaculate High School, and I'm a member of Boy Scout Troop 137 in New Fairfield, Connecticut. I previously was part of Boy Scout Troop 14 in Carmel, New York, and I have frequented the Stone Church many times over, probably over 3 or 4 dozen times. And I just love going there. There's the history behind it and everything, and the trails are very nice and beautiful. And it's unfortunate that invasive species such as the Japanese beetle are there, and they're destroying environments and damaging the wildlife and fauna there. So I'm proposing that we can build birdhouses to kind of preserve some of the natural species of birds there that are under threat from these invasive species for generations to come. Me and my fellow scouts are more than willing to help build these birdhouses and at no cost to the town, as we've already raised the money and the materials that we would need to build them. Looking at the blueprint in front of you there, they will be made of cedar. There was a mistake on the paper. They're not pine. The cedar is a lot more accepting of the elements and won't rot or decay as quickly as pine wood or any other wood. We're planning to put 4x4 poles into the ground, about 5 of them, and they'll have 4 bird boxes on each of them, alternating sides and at different heights, so they're not all at the same height. And the poles will be about 12 feet, and the birdhouses will be about 9 feet on the poles. We were looking to do 2 birdhouses on that first initial walk-in down the stairs, off to the side about 5 to 10 feet off the trail, just to keep it out of the way of people, because obviously we don't want anyone like younger children or even teens to like mess with the birds, as this is going to be their home and stuff, and that we can't allow the newborn to be interrupted while they're being taken care of by their parents. These birdhouses are generic birdhouses for many of the common birds in Dover. Just to name a few is the yellowthroat, sparrow, American robin. Can all use these birdhouses to nest. And that's it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask.
You said you're from Brewster?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I can tell you on my opinion and my behalf only, I welcome this. I've always said that I never went through the Scouts myself, but I've presented a few presentations to some Eagle Scouts, and the amount of work that you go through and the accomplishments that you have to make, I give you all the credit in the world. Much respect, young man.
Thank you.
All right, you work hard and you earn it. So I am more than willing to let this happen. What I will do is, do we have his contact information? We'll put you in contact. I will have my chairman of the Trails Committee reach out to you and just let him know the day you want to do this.
All right, sounds good.
Okay? I am all good with this. And we have a resolution, correct? No?
I don't think we needed it.
No.
No?
Would you agree?
Okay. Well, I tell you what, I move that you go ahead and move this project, and when you achieve your Eagle Scout, you come to Dover and I'll present you with something.
Thank you.
Well,
Okay.
I have to say that my younger son is also an Eagle Scout, and I know what it took to get him to that point, and he also did a project like this over in Morris, Connecticut. So I commend what it took you to get to this point. Trust me, I know. We welcome it at Stone Church, and we welcome it in the town of Dover, absolutely, and I'm sure the birds will be more than happy, and, I hope that, you continue this trek with Americanism and your Eagle Scout and go forth in life with all the credentials that you've achieved so far and keep going.
Thank you.
Tommy, anything?
No, I'm good. Congratulations, young man.
Thank you.
Jay?
Congratulations. Is this just your project? Are you the only one that's going to be doing this, or are you going to get some other?
I'm going to be leading the project. I'll have some of my other fellow
Okay.
scouts helping me build the birdhouses
Okay.
and construct them and put the poles in the ground in order to set the birdhouses up.
Well, good luck and congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good luck,
Thank
all
you.
right?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Please come back.
Cool.
Next, we have a presentation on the JHK Park Riparian and Riverfront Improvement Plan. You want to please approach? Oh, there you go, you beat me to it. Which one would you like first? I have them both downloaded for you.
Yeah, the PowerPoint would be good. Thank you.
That one?
Yep,
Okay. You tell me when you want to switch, and I'll click it for you.
I will, thanks.
All right. Please introduce yourself, tell you who you represent, and we'll go from there.
Hard act to follow. I can't wait to see more birds at Stone Church. Nice to see you all. My name is Claire Way. I am the 10 Mile River Watershed Manager for the Housatonic Valley Association. I appreciate the time you're taking to listen to me about how we can work together to protect, preserve, enhance, and beautify the incredible asset to the Dover community that is Ketchum Park. In the last few weeks, I've been meeting with partners from the Dutchess Land Conservancy and Dutchess County Soil and Water Conservation District, as well as members of the Dover Conservation Advisory Council, with the generous time from Councilman Maluda as to how we might best proceed with the riparian restoration project in the park. You can go to the next slide, please. So in recent years, with rising water levels and flooding from the 10 Mile River as a result of stronger and more frequent storms, Ketchum Park has been experiencing significant flooding, with the riparian area, the wooded area closest to the river, being the most severely impacted. In the last year, there's been significant sedimentation, which is sand covering the undergrowth in that wooded area, as well as exposed roots in that area that indicate that the trees might be becoming unstable as a result of higher water levels. The bank is sloughing off from underneath where the water is hitting it with harder currents, and parkland is being lost to the river, which none of us want. And water levels in recent storms have been coming within 5 feet of the beautiful new walking track that the town installed recently. Riparian planting with native shrubs and trees would work to stabilize the bank, protecting the town's past and future investments, as well as improve cold water habitat for fish, which in turn would attract more birds and wildlife to the park. More plants in that area would drink up that floodwater before encroaching on the walking path and make the rest of the park more usable for more days of the year and less squishy underfoot as folks walk around that lawn. And it would also offer educational opportunities for local youth and programming, and illustrate the town's investment in promoting outdoor recreation and local stewardship. So Dutchess County Soil and Water has generously included an order of 500 native plants, trees, and shrubs in their annual plant order. And to the right here, you'll see a planting plan that was put together by Amy from Soil and Water, who's also here to answer questions if you may have them. The plant list you can see on the bottom right, those are all native plants and shrubs, some of them edible, including blackberry, raspberry, and hazelnut. I was going to read it, but I can't see from here, but you can read it. the more closely planted bunches closer to the water's edge will do the most to halt that erosion that's happening, as well as prevent pedestrians through that area from getting close to the more hazardous edges of the bank. And those species will take root quickly and hold soil in place, curbing erosion and protecting the rest of the park, like I said. That green line indicates a potential route that we mapped for a walking path through that riparian area, which winds between the old growth trees that are down there, so people can get up close and see just how huge they are. And it would also make the park accessible in a different way for a different type of recreation to the Dover community. So in order to do that, I am ready to partner with Dutchess Land Conservancy to hold a massive one-day volunteer event where we would plant all 500 trees in one day at no cost to the town. And because of the severity of the erosion, we'd like to proceed with this as quickly as possible with your go-ahead. The bare root plantings will arrive to soil and water at the end of April and would need to be in the ground within 3 weeks to maximize their survival rate, which would mean that we were looking at a volunteer event in the first 2 weeks of May. You can go to the next slide. So just for some context, we've included an excerpt from the 10 Mile River Watershed Management Plan, which was adopted by the town of Dover in October 2022. The 10 Mile River Watershed Management Plan is a document that was written by the 10 Mile River Collaborative, a group which representatives from Dover were founding members of in 2014. The watershed plan was written including input from every municipality in the 10 Mile watershed. And in addition to describing natural resources and local history, it also identifies and describes priority projects that each town would like to accomplish. And Ketchum Park was one of Dover's top priority projects, which they have already made you've already made significant progress on these bullets that are in the plan. So the check marks are the ones that you've already accomplished, and then the bullet points are the goals that this project would move us towards if we get to do this planting in the next couple months. They include streamside trails, a car top boat launch down the line. A riparian area would increase access for fishing. There'd be more fish to fish. Remove invasives, create an ecologically friendly trail system, and more access to the pollinator gardens installed by the CAC. You can go to the next slide, please. So we've phased out the goals that were on the previous slide to get to more specifics of what we hope to accomplish. Phase 1, which we're mainly discussing today, would start with removing standing dead ash trees in that riparian area with the help of the Dover Highway Department. Unrelated to the flooding and erosion, these ash trees appear to have been infected by the emerald ash borer, and right now would pose a hazard to pedestrians and would threaten any new plantings we put in, as well as the walking trail, if not removed before that work begins. So before moving forward, we'd appreciate the opportunity to consult with Jason and the Highway Department about what's feasible regarding the amount of tree work they would be able to do in the next month or so before that potential volunteer event date. And then phase 2 would start with a conversation about additional plantings and potentially an interpretive signage along that walking trail. And phase 3 would finish out those goals outlined in the watershed management plan, which would include a removable boat dock for kayaking on the 10 mile, as well as a long-term maintenance plan to protect the town's investments and ensure the environmental health, safety, and beauty of Ketchum Park for Dover residents to enjoy well into the future. Thanks very much. Like I said, Amy from Soil and Water is here, and Julie from Dutchess Land Conservancy is also here if you have any questions that I'm not able to answer.
Ladies, would you like to say anything? Good?
Oh, great.
I can't speak for Jason, but on offline, have a conversation with him, probably after this week. We got hit with some news today, so I know he's busy. It is rental season for our street sweepers and our
Yeah.
basin cleaners, so he's got a full schedule. So,
Yeah, of course.
you know, reach out to him next week. I know he's here tonight, but, yeah.
Yeah, and the amount of work that we
It's a busy time
would
of year,
be-
especially before May. He's already started sweeping, so reach out to him and see if you can work it out. And
Yeah, will
hopefully we
do.
can, and, I mean, if not, we'll try to figure something out for you. Thank you for the tree work, thank you for the planting, thank you very much, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right?
The amount of
Pete?
work that it would be flexible. And because they're infected with emerald ash borer, they shouldn't be removed from the site. So it would just mean a conversation about what's possible and what their capacity is, understanding that they're extremely busy at this time of year.
Question, sir?
Yeah, I just had a quick question.
Yeah.
For the removable boat dock, have you cited a location for that yet? Or is that, because I would hate to see like you plant everything and then the boat dock goes in where you just planted
Yeah.
100 bushes.
Yes,
you know?
totally speculatively, we've cited a potential spot for, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
And we wouldn't be starting planting until a little farther down the walking path area there.
Okay.
And the map shows the trail would go through the riparian area and then connect back to the walking track, like near the ball field. And so we would do the planting specifically to avoid that potential dock area and the potential walking path.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was just curious.
Because that's exactly what we want to avoid is the plants we put in. Yeah, exactly.
I get it. Awesome.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda, we have a presentation from Dover Livestock LLC.
Sorry, my podium is not functioning.
Yeah, yeah, right here.
All right. Good to go?
Got it, yep.
All right. Hello again, Town Board. I don't think I've ever presented in front of you guys for a project like this before. So it's nice to see you all again. Peter Sander from Rennie Engineering, representing the applicant, Mark. So what we have here today is kind of unique for the board's perspective, where we are applying for a special permit for an unlisted use that the applicant is wanting to do on one of their existing agricultural parcels. So just to give a little background, there are two parcels owned by Mark over here. Parcel 1, which is our project parcel, is 20.9 acres. And parcel 2, which is further north, it's the parcel directly adjacent to the lot, is 27.9 acres. Currently, those parcels are used for agricultural. I believe it's for livestock. There's some fences up there that use the grazing. And both parcels are in the RU district. So the RU district, typically a residential district, but doesn't really pertain to this application. So for background, the existing 7,500 square foot structure was constructed as a barn. Currently there's provision in the zoning code that only allows 6,000 square foot structures, but because it was an ag structure, it was allowed to be a little bit bigger. Now Mark is looking to convert that existing ag structure into, it's kind of a hybrid between a trucking facility and a contractor's yard, where the applicant will then store some of their employee vehicles. They'll have employee parking there. They'll do basic maintenance on their vehicles. And they'll also have an aggregate or overage storage area. So this is items like gravel, dirt, stone that's not been compacted or crushed to gravel size. So that would be stored there, sorted there, and then sold off-site. So the reason we're here today is because those uses are not actually outlined in our Town of Dover allowable use or our use table. So as a provision, the former creators of the zoning code kind of factored in this lack of information. So what they said is that any use that is not outlined on the use table can appear in front of the town board for a special permit. And then that's similar to the special use permit the planning board does, but granted by the town board. So really we're here to just get a sense of, to present you the initial plan for the applicant and to get any feedback from the town board so we can proceed with this application. So with that, I'm happy to answer any questions that you guys may have.
You're looking to move your business out of the center of town, Mark, and over to this location? That's what you're looking to do? Okay. Tommy, any special process we would have to take other than review?
No, he's correct. With the Town of Dover code, there's a provision, a catch-all provision, for lack of a better word, that if it's not a specified use in the use table, the applicant has the right to come to the town board for a special use permit, and that's what this applicant's done. So the town board would almost step into the shoes of how a planning board would review this type of application, and then make a determination either to grant or deny the special use application. It would have to go through the whole secret process and
Public hearing?
potential public hearing, yep. And then the town board can make a determination. So there's a process that'll need to be followed. Town board would have to, also there'd be engineering, obviously, review, potential town planner review, so an escrow, just like a planning board escrow would be established, town board would have to establish a consultant escrow as well. So that could all be done, and an intent to declare at the next town board meeting and start the process, with the
Okay.
seeker at least.
Any other questions? Tommy?
No questions at this time.
Jan?
No, I'm good.
Deputy?
No, not at this time.
Okay. So we'll say we'll meet on this next meeting, next regular meeting?
Next regular meeting, it could be on the agenda.
It's the first time I've gone through this special
To,
permit, so I'm sorry.
Do an intent to declare. The town
Okay.
board's going to be lead agent
All right.
on this, since the special permit, at least we're going to ask to be lead agent on it, and then circulate, and that'll start a 30-day clock.
Actually, I do.
And
Okay.
I
Go ahead.
think we
So,
will get from the applicant's engineer some type of description of the project and any schematics to attach to the secret.
We were given some maps.
Yep, I have
Yeah.
some of it, so this should be sufficient for secret
Okay.
to circulate.
Could that begin tonight? Could the board vote to circulate it tonight to begin lead agency circulation?
That's, I had it on only for a presentation, so I didn't prepare a resolution tonight, but
Can we do that as a motion?
really for secret, it should be done in the form of a
Resolution.
resolution.
Okay.
But we have meetings, more than one meeting coming up before the next month, so.
Madam Clerk, can we take the first 10 minutes of the 17th to read a resolution?
Certainly.
We do have a special meeting.
But we
on-
have a meeting right after that, though, Rich, on the 24th. I know the 17th was supposed to be just for the other one, so,
Okay.
Does
Does there need to be an escrow set in advance?
we
before
need to
declare?
set an escrow too, so it really should be at the next meeting.
Okay. Is that okay, Peter?
Works for us. Whatever the board is comfortable on
Yeah,
this.
it should be at the next
And like I
meeting.
said, I mean, this is the first one I've had to handle,
Mm-hmm.
so I just want to make sure everything's right.
We need to get the input from the planner and the engineer, and
Well, if that's the case, can we set escrow tonight so that this application could be circulated to them in the meantime between this meeting and the next? So that they'll come back with some substantive comments that we could possibly address, or, because right now, I don't know what we would have to resubmit for you guys to have more of a more complete application. So if
Yeah,
you're going
I-
to do it. to
I have
the-
your application, I just don't know, without speaking to the planner as well as the engineer, what
What
they would
set.
recommend for an escrow.
We could always just provide the initial planning board escrow fee, which is very typical for them to begin the review process.
I mean, the town board could set an escrow tonight if they felt comfortable. Obviously, the way the town code reads, if the escrow is deficient, then
They have to
review
add.
stops, so to have to replenish it, so it's not like it's a set firm number, it's just a starting point. It's up to,
Right.
you want to get input from the town engineer?
Marilyn, what's the standard basic escrow amount?
$1,500 is the initial
I
escrow.
didn't hear you.
$1,500
15.
is the initial.
150
Okay.
there.
Joe, you have anything to say on this?
You could,
Can
you
we-
could
can
do
we
that, you could do that by
Do
motion.
that on a motion? That's what my
You can
question
make a
is.
motion that,
We set an
you
escrow at-
establish an initial escrow of $1,500 on this special permit application. And this way, as he said, then the engineer and the planner could start their review.
That would be perfect, because then that way we don't really lose any time in between the meetings waiting for it.
Okay.
I have no objection to that.
I'm going to go on your advisement. It's my first time here.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. All right, I'll make the motion that we set escrow at $1,500
Second.
to start the review process for this project, special permit project. I have a second.
Second.
Brought by myself, seconded by Mr. Holmes. All in favor?
Aye.
All in favor, 4, 1 absent. Set.
Perfect. And does that made out to the town board? I don't know who the escrow gets made out to in this circumstance.
Town of
Town of
Dover.
Dover?
Town of
Okay.
Dover, yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. I don't know if any of you have any other questions, but
No, we'll review.
All right.
And of course, I will, under the advisement of council. It's the first one I've had to go through. I'll say it again.
Perfect.
I want to make sure it's right. I know you've been working on this, Mark. We want to make sure it's right for you and right on our end as well. Tomorrow?
all right.
No, business hours. All right. Marilyn, would you help us out with that? Thank you.
I can take care of it. I'm
Okay.
used to doing
Okay,
that.
thank you.
You could just drop it.
There you go.
All right. Very cool. Thank you very much, everyone. Looking forward to seeing you guys next time.
You got it.
Thanks. Luck.
Good luck, buddy. Thank you very much once again. Safe home. You got it. Moving on, reports of the Recreation Department and Highway Superintendent. Start with Recreation. Julie? I have a thing on cleanup day if you want to skip
Oh,
that.
all right, I won't announce it then. Announce it then. Hi, I'm Julie Muncy from Dover Recreation. First of all, our basketball program ended last week, and I'd like to thank all the players and parents for their commitment to the program. It's a long program from the end of November to the end of March. It was a long season, but we had a lot of great games and a lot of great fun. Next, I want to thank my staff for pulling the Easter egg hunt without me this year. I was in Florida. So they did a great job, and I just want to thank Paula, Dodie, Sean, and Paul for all that they do throughout the year, but especially this last weekend that just passed. Rich, you were there, so it sounds like everybody had fun, and
It was a good day.
time. It was a good day. The Recreation Commission meeting is this Wednesday, April 3rd at 5:30 PM at Boys Park Community Room. We're accepting day camp employment applications until Monday, April 1st. If anybody has any questions, they can call the office. Day camp registrations are coming along steady. Our program starts July 1st. Our camp calendar is on our website, as well as Facebook and Instagram, if anybody wants to see what we're doing for the 6 weeks that we're there. We also have a playground program, which lasts to almost the end of August, for those who still need some childcare, basically, to the end of the year. We have sent out our spring, summer program and event brochure. We sent it to the schools. It's here at Town Hall, at the library, to the senior program. But if anybody needs one or would like one, they can I can send it to them in an email or by mail. They can just call the Recreation office at 845-832-9168. The main gate to Boys Park has been changed. It's on a timer now. It's actually open from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. If you happen to be in the park and the gate does close, pull up to the white line and the gate will open. Please don't touch the gate. So if that should be, go right up to the line, go right up to it, and it automatically opens outward. We're closing our big soccer fields next week, and that's to irrigate it and reseed it, and that will be closed to the fall. And that is the front biggest soccer field we have. We have another big soccer field, so between soccer and baseball and everything like that, we're working on schedules so we can work with them to get the field closed, but also use our other fields. You're going to talk about about cleanup day. And lastly, our pickleball courts are open. It is free to residents. I just ask that you have to sign up for a membership on our website, and you'll get the code. It'll be on your receipt, but you'll also get a monthly code every month. And then for non-residents, it is $75. But they'll also get the code as well. And if they have any questions, you can give us a call at the Recreation Office. Any other questions?
Just to comment on that, we adjusted that fee based on feedback from the residents of Dover. We weren't the only town that would charge fees to use the courts, even though they're Town of Dover courts. Certain things have to happen. Maintenance were over and above because we never had them before. But with the feedback that we got, we said we would make an adjustment, and we did. So thank you for taking that into consideration, Julie. And if it turns out to be a decision that we should have kept as is, it'll go back, because it has to. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
And just on the flyer itself, the flyer itself contains more information and more opportunity for programs and leaves space for others. The programs only work as if the people attend. You know, Grandpa used to say you can lead a horse to water. So there are opportunities here to be active, to be involved in the programs throughout Dover. But if a program calls for 12 and we get 2, that program will not happen. So that is the answer to some of those questions that we receive. Okay, but thank you for this. It's full of everything that we offer. And on the front page, if you do go online to look at it, it is the referendum vote for the possible community recreation center that we are proposing. Date of vote to be determined. There will be informational meetings coming up. April 17th is one.
Yep.
5:30 p.m. It'll be an informational meeting on the possible project that we'd like to bring to Dover based on the surveys we've had over the last 6 years? 6 years?
At least.
Over 70% of the responses go to this project. And that's why we're trying to do what we all want. Okay?
All right.
Thank you, Julie.
You're welcome.
Highway Superintendent, Jason Sartori.
Hi, everyone. Jason Story, Town of Dover Highway Department, Superintendent, sorry. So far this month, we've been lucky with our snow. So hopefully we won't get any more. We started our spring cleanup on our roadways. We did a lot of our intersections throughout Dover and Wingdale by hand. It saves us a lot of time with the street sweeper, which we got last week and we've been busy with so far. The town of Dover is pretty much done. Right now we're down in the developments, and Jay, yours will get done sooner or later. Maybe they'll just drive by your house and miss you. And I'll try to tell them, you know. So yes, and right after that is done, we will start our grading, our spring grading on all of our dirt roads, which is going to probably take 2 to 3 weeks or more to get that done. And that's that. I spent a little time with Councilman Holmes, who stopped by my office or calls me once a week usually to ask questions and stuff that's going on. Him and I took a ride. I drove through Dover and showed him everything that we're involved in and that we're doing to keep him updated so everybody up there can ask him questions also on stuff that we are doing. The other thing is that's pretty much it, what we've been doing this month because we've been busy doing that. We've got to jump on it because we haven't had any snow, so our truck maintenance and equipment maintenance has been continuing. Also been working with Joe on the Nellie Hill Bridge. We just got our final soil test done on the Nellie Hill Bridge. We're just waiting back for their answer on it, and we can move forward after that with the bridge that we're going to put in place there. They had to do a soil test to determine the size of the footprint of the footings that are going to go in the ground because the soil isn't as great there as other places. Anything to add to that, Joe? We're good with that? Just waiting for their answer on that. And the last thing is the highway department, or I would like to notify residents in Dover that there's going to be 2 bridges that are going to get replaced. They're county bridges, and Rich will touch on that. He has more information on it than I do. One is on County Route 6, which is a full replacement, and the road will be closed, and Rich will have information for you on that. And the other one is up on the ridge. There's a single-lane bridge that is coming out completely, but they're putting a temporary bridge in place and traffic light and everything like that, and he'll touch on all that stuff. And that's pretty much it. And I'd like to say to all my guys and my team, thank you very much for all their hard work and dedication that they do for us, taxpayers in this town, and for me. Any questions?
Nope. I got to thank you all again. We have a small crew, and it was a long winter, although we didn't get hammered like some of them predicted. We have guys we have our older guys and we have our younger guys, but they do a hell of a job. And I'll say that every time that we talk about them. And their next phase is getting the roads ready, like he said, and completing phase 2 on the new garage up there. Right? We're working on that now. We're putting everything together to complete that. So thank you. Thank you to your guys. And you're right. I have a ton of information on the bridges, and I'll give that during my report.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jason. Reports of the supervisor and the town board members. Councilman Holmes.
As Jason said, I spent a couple hours with him a week and a half ago and looked at upcoming projects on the bridges and the roads, blacktopping. Got a lot of work ahead of them the next 6 months.
Absolutely. Thank you, Tom. Councilman Maluta.
Well, as stated earlier, on the 25th, I met with members of the Dutchess Land Conservancy to go over the proposed plan to shore up the shore at the park, introduce a nature trail and access to the river for fishing and recreation, and it went very well. Again, we have to figure out what we're going to do with those ash trees, and, one way or another, we'll figure it out. The American Legion is preparing for our annual Memorial Day parade next month, or in May. The letters for participants will be going out in the following week, and I just want to tell everyone to have a blessed Easter weekend. Thank you.
Thank you, Jan. Deputy Supervisor Murphy.
No report this month.
10-4. Okay, I'll start right off with what Jason brought up. There are 2 major bridge projects going on that is being done by the county. The first one, the replacement of Bridge D66 on Old State Route 22, known as County Route 6, crosses over to Swamp River in the town of Dover. This is going to be between Sherman Hill Road and Jordan Lane. If anybody's unfamiliar with Jordan Lane, it's just the other side of Lime Kiln. All right, the detour will be Lime Kiln. Dutchess County Department of Public Works will be replacing the bridge on Old State Route 22, County Route 6, over Swamp River in the town of Dover. Project work will begin on or about the week of April 18th. It will include replacing the existing structure with a new, wider bridge to incorporate 4-foot shoulders and widen the travel lanes to match the approach roadway. The portion of Old State Route 22 near the project, located between the intersections of Jordan Lane and Sherman Hill Road, will be closed with a detour posted along Lime Kiln Road, Maple Lane, Mill Street, State Route 22. A map of the detour is enclosed. I think we have that posted. If not, we will. It is anticipated the project will be complete with the new bridge open to traffic by the end of this year. It's not a month-long project, everybody. If you have any questions, please contact the Dutchess County Department of Public Works at 845-486-2925. Sincerely, Robert Balkine, Commissioner of Public Works, Sue Serino, County Executive, and our own representative, Andrew J. House. So we'll work on getting everything that comes to us information-wise, updates, project updates, detour changes. We are working that project specifically. Myself and Jason have talked with representatives from the county. I have talked to the commissioner myself. because I wasn't happy with the decision engineering department made. We're asking them to line Lime Kiln Road for us to make it safer, to try to curb the speed a little bit on that road, because 1,000 cars a day use that road now. Now you're going to double it, because now everything is going to go across Lime Kiln Road coming off of Old 22. We've asked them to detour heavier traffic over East Duncan Hill Road, which is this road that the town hall sits on, when they're coming north on Old Route 22, to avoid going through the center of town, Maple and Mill. Detour has been set, but truthfully, the truck driver will understand within a week or so that, yeah, I'm going to avoid that side. And they'll probably be cutting across here, or they'll just take 22 from Wingdale north. Okay, so that's the detour there. Map will be posted. I think it's up there already, actually. Yep. So, all summer. It's all summer. Fire departments have been notified. I believe the fire department took care of notifying Northern Dutchess, but we'll know a true start date the closer it gets. They've been working there now for a week. It's all marked out. I believe the silt fence is up, so be careful going through there until the final closure. The second bridge that's going to be replacement of Bridge D-34 on Ridge Road over the Mill River, town of Dover, Dutchess County. The installation of a temporary traffic signal is anticipated to begin on or about the week of March 25th, and the project will involve the demolition of the existing bridge and replacement with a new, wider bridge that will include 3-foot shoulders. The project will also include improvements to the curvature of the road. Ridge Road will remain open during the project as a temporary bridge will be installed adjacent to the construction site. The project is anticipated to be complete with the new bridge open to traffic by the end of this year. Any questions, you can reach out to the same number, 845-486-2925. Sincerely, Robert Balkine, Commissioner of Public Works, as well as Executive Serino and Legislator House. Motorists are advised to plan for additional time and to exercise extra caution near the construction site. Obey the posted speed limits, traffic advisory signs, and the directions from flaggers near the work zone to ensure the safety of the workers and other motorists. All right, so that's the second one. They did accept our request on this job. They gave me 3 options a little over a year ago. I think myself and Jason talked about it. We took it to the fire department, and the main objective there is to not close that road because of response time from Dover for the fire department and ambulance. If you close that section of road down, which they had to do several years ago, you're adding about 20 minutes or more to some response times to locations in very close proximity to the project. And we went through that with the flood in July, when our bridge, just up the road from this one, got washed out. So they listened to us, they accepted the offer we wanted them to make us, and they're coming across with a temporary bridge, so we thank them for that. I will thank them on that one. All right, any questions? We good? All right. Our building department will be going through some renovations in the next few weeks to basically do the redo project that we started in here a few years ago. It is the last phase of the town hall redo, floors, paint, lighting. They will be closed. The office will be closed April 11th and 12th. Routine business will be able to be handled for the week after that, for the next couple of weeks while the work is being done. They're handling it. So we'll be able to do some routine business, so please be advised that the office will be closed the 11th and the 12th for probably 2 to 3 weeks total. All right. April 15th, Julie mentioned Dover Cleanup Day. April 15th will be, I'm sorry, I'm reading the wrong one. April 15th will be a special town board meeting at 5:30 p.m. on the new Recreation Center and Gym. Information, deadline dates, along with the voting dates will be given as time goes. That meeting is the first informational meeting that the public can come. You'll hear what the details are. You'll hear more of what we presented, more than what we presented last time. And we're going for it. It's a big project. I got to thank the committee. 17th?
17th.
Sorry.
My bad. April 17th,
Everybody's looking at the calendar.
Cleanup's the 13th.
right?
Cleanup's the third.
Cleanup is the...
Cleanup is the 13th. My typo. So April 17th, Wednesday,
Tax day's the 15th.
5:30, yeah, 5:30 PM, that will be the meeting. Okay, again, based on what the residents wanted, we're going for it, okay? We'll present with information, answer every question we can. If we can't answer that night, we'll find the answer and get it to you, all right? Cleanup day, here we go, I'm back in order. Cleanup day will be Saturday, April 13th. We'll be meeting at the Rec Park in Wingdale, the Boys Park in Wingdale at 8 a.m. We will start with a safety discussion. We'll hand out some road assignments. If you don't already come here to us with a road that you'd like to do, we always have a list of roads that we want to get done. I've talked with Jason, I've talked with the county. The one and only pickup day will be Monday, the 15th. Roadside garbage only. No furniture from your backyards. No patio furniture. No dead washing machines.
No mattresses.
Roadside garbage only. We appreciate the time that people will be putting in. We appreciate you keeping the town clean. You want to clean in front of your house on our town roads? We thank you for that. Okay, but we'll be meeting at 8 a.m. down at the Boys Park in Wingdale. I will have some vests, but what we ask is you wear bright-colored clothing and bring a good pair of work gloves and boots. Okay? So we'll put some more information out. Julie will put that out on our website and our social media pages as we get closer, okay?
Community service.
It'll be a one-time and one-time only, weather permitting. If we get canceled due to weather, a new date will be determined. We don't know when that will be, though, okay? Again, we're getting into busy season, and we do rely on our highway guys for this one day, especially the pickup day. All right? There is some talk of a major project that was presented on the 12th. The word is out. March 12th was advertised. It was well attended. There had to be over 120 people in Pauling that night, most of which I will say were Pauling residents. I will say that the most of the project is in the town of Dover, so I was a little surprised. But now people know that most of it is in Dover. The word is getting out. There are many, many questions that still need to be answered and discussed. If and when an application is submitted, it will follow the normal process, and it will take the normal path that any application takes in the town of Dover. And the planning board members and council, along with my board and council, will feel that we'll take and decide the right way, that the right path that it needs to take, okay? No decisions will be made before that discussion. When it is presented, it'll be all on the same page. Planning and council, town board and council, okay? So from these, both Dover and Pauling, there are some obstacles, there are some hurdles, and we know that, and many discussions will be needed to take place. With that, I have nothing else. Anything else, Jay? Any report yet?
Nope.
Okay.
All good.
All right, buddy. Anything else, Tom? John? Council? Madam Clerk? Good? All right, on the resolutions. Come on. I ain't doing it. All right, something's going on here. Struggling. There we go. Resolution to authorize and approve the consent agenda items. Be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Dover does hereby approve the following items for consideration and adoption on the March 27, 2024 Town Board Regular Meeting Consent Agenda. Authorize payment of abstract number 3 of 2024 in the amount of $318,693.47. Accept the minutes of the town board meeting on February 28, 2024, and special town board meeting of March 13, 2024. Approve the town clerk's report for February 2024. Approve the town supervisor's financial report for February 2024. Authorize budget transfers, budget amendments, and payment of off-abstract purchase orders as prepared and submitted by the town's bookkeeper. Renew recreation bus transportation service agreement for 2024. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Brought by Murphy, seconded by Maluta. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried, one absent. Resolution awarding Office Building Department painting request proposal. Whereas the town of Dover advertised for request of proposals, RFPs, for building department office painting proposals, and whereas proposals were received, opened, and reviewed. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Dover does hereby award the proposal of Outstanding Painting LLC of Maspeth, New York, in the amount of $8,800 for the painting of the town of Dover building department offices. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Brought by Murphy, seconded by Holmes. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried, one absent. Resolution of intent to declare lead agency in accordance with the State Environmental Quality Review Act, SECRA, Town of Dover Sustainability Chapter Supplement to the Comprehensive Plan Update. Whereas the Town of Dover received a 2019 New York State DEC Office of Climate Change grant to prepare a sustainability chapter to help advance objectives and goals of the Comprehensive Plan Update related to Dover's economy and environment and further integrate the importance of social equity and the health of well-being of residents and the future growth and development of the Town of Dover. And whereas the sustainability chapter supplement to the Town of Dover Comprehensive Plan appears to constitute a Type 2 action, as said quoted terms is defined in the regulations, and therefore it appears that no further determination or procedure under SECRA is required with respect to this action. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Dover, after review of the sustainability chapter to supplement to Town of Dover Comprehensive Plan, the Town Board of the Town of Dover makes the following findings and determinations with respect to this action. A, pursuant to Section 617.5C2 and 617.5C25 of the regulations, this action is a Type 2 action. And B, therefore, the Town Board determines that no environmental impact statement or any other determination on procedure is required under SECRA. And C, then Town Clerk is hereby authorized and directed to file a copy of this resolution with any required agency. And D, this resolution shall take effect immediately. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Brought by Maluta, seconded by Murphy. Discussion.
Could I do those
Like to say
slides?
anything?
Could I view those slides with you for just a minute?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Katie. Which
Oh,
one?
no.
Oh, sustainability.
There you go.
That makes sense.
This is just very brief background. So, as it was mentioned in the resolution, this is a grant project that's been ongoing for the past 5 years, but due to the pandemic, we needed to put it on hold. And it's a supplement to the Comprehensive Plan Update, but it focuses particularly on the importance of sustainability, right? From what you'd even think, to sustain something is to help prolong it, to be able to offer it for generations to come. Currently, the Comprehensive Plan Update focuses on economic and environmental impacts. The Climate Smart Community Program offers the ability to add this chapter to look at sustainability specifically with the idea of social equity. There are barriers that people face every day due to age or income or language or ethnicity that prevent them from being able to benefit from the things that we might be able to achieve that would ameliorate climate change. If you are of fixed and low income, maybe you can't afford solar panels for your house. Sustainability is the chance to help build programs within the community, offer resources to individuals regardless of their demographic characteristics, so that they always can enjoy the same benefits that others who might be in different situational straits. So according to the grant, we had to look at 5 different areas, and you can see up there alternatives to transportation. So not just electric cars, but how do we make our community more walkable? How do we help individuals who may not have transportation to be mobile around our town? Another area has to do with smart growth in land use policies, conserving natural areas, community resources that would be available to all people regardless of their income if they can't afford to pay for a particular program. Looking at local food sources and promoting ways to use the food that we grow locally instead of trucking it in from 3,000 miles away. And lastly, to protect our water quality and supply. So those are the 5 areas that we particularly looked at. Last year, we did a survey, and community online survey, and individuals gave their priorities for this plan. So we created them into an implementation table. You'll see the definitions of sustainability and equity that were part of the survey. So individuals voted on which definition they felt they would like us to include. And then on the last slide, you can see the next step in the process. We've created the draft chapter. It will be available on the town's website. Next month, we'll have a public informational meeting to explain to the public more about the particular recommendations, and then have a public hearing and seeker determination with the goal to adopt it at the end of May, if you so allow it. This will be used towards silver level CSC, Climate Smart Community Certification. So it's continuing our advancement towards higher levels of sustainability in our community. So, any questions?
No questions? The one thing I will say is this was a long process. I can't thank Katie enough. It seemed like every day we came in, she's working on it. And they just asked for more, and she gave it to them. And to achieve and receive the grant, we thank you as always.
Well,
And I have a lot of work and time was put into this. And I think it's smart, I think it's right.
Well, I have to give thanks to the Conservation Advisory Council. Janet Pickering is out in the audience
Absolutely.
here. Thank you so much for all your dedication through these 5 years of us reviewing it and talking about it, and the other members of the committee as well. They're just superb colleagues.
Thank you very much. Any other? Hearing no other discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So carried, 1 absent. I gotta get out of this. Resolution authorizing the hiring of media clerk. Whereas the town of Dover is in need of a part-time media clerk, now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Dover does hereby authorize the hiring of Natalie Brill to the position of part-time media clerk in the town of Dover effective March 27th, 2024, at an hourly rate of $15.68 an hour as contained in the 2024 Town of Dover adopted budget. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Brought by Murphy, seconded by Holmes. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? So carried, 1 absent.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome aboard, Natalie. She's listening. Resolution authorizing NAMI to hang ribbons and banners. Whereas May is National Mental Health Awareness Month, and whereas the National Alliance on Mental Illness, NAMI, has requested permission to hang ribbons and banners in the town of Dover to commemorate National Mental Health Awareness Month. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of Dover hereby proclaims the month of May as Mental Health Awareness Month and authorizes NAMI to hang ribbons and banners in the town of Dover. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Brought by Maluta, seconded by Holmes. Discussion. This is something that we have taken, we participated in as long as I can go back, right? At least 10 or 12 years for being on the board. And again, it is it's a very important topic. And I don't have any problem representing, helping, displaying, giving them permission. I think it's a good thing. It's a good cause. Anybody else? Hearing no further discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So carried, one absent. Following along with the agenda, at this point in time, are there any public comments? Any public comments, questions, or we'd give you the answers if you have any. Please approach the podium. Mr. Pickard, no? Okay. Seeing nobody approaching the podium, upcoming meetings, as I said earlier, after we corrected the date a few times on me, April 17th at 5:30 PM, special meeting on the project. Please come out. Please ask your questions, okay? And we'll answer them if we can, and if not, like I always said, we'll get the answer to you. All right, we want feedback. We want questions. With that, I will move that we go to an executive session and not return to the dais for both personnel and litigation discussion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion's been made by myself, seconded by Deputy Supervisor Murphy to go into an executive session and not return to the dais to discuss litigation and personnel items. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So carried, one absent. Have a good night. Be well, be safe, everybody.
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter, yes.